in history behind hip-hop police has been around as long as hip-hop has. Since Luke Campbell's victory in Supreme Court in 1992, law enforcement has done whatever it can to make sure urban artists stay aware that prison is right around the corner. 2018 has brought a new wave of law enforcement with the rise of social media, especially in hip-hop. What rap artists fell victim to the hip-hop police in 2018? Here's my list. Number 10 goes to Ice-T. Ice-T is one of the godfathers of gangsta rap, especially on the West Coast, but nowadays is best known for his role as Tracy Morrow, a police officer in the hit TV series Law & Order SVU. That didn't stop the police from detaining him on October 24, 2018, while driving over the George Washington Bridge in between New Jersey and New York. Ice-T had recently purchased a McLaren sports car and didn't realize he did not have his Easy Pass transponder in his new car as he zipped through his Easy Pass. This incident propelled cops to pull over and arrest Ice-T for the incident. After posting bail, Ice-T took to his Twitter after the event, stating the cops went, quote-unquote, a little extra. They could have just wrote a ticket. Man, all this for Easy Pass? Sheesh. Number 9 goes to Jim Jones, the Dipset star and our favorite niggaologist. Nowadays is best known for his workout routines, false moves, and on-site storm reporting. But on June 21st, 2018, Jim Jones wasn't Coweta County's favorite niggaologist. Nope, he was just another victim of the hip-hop po-po. Jones was pulled over after Coweta County Sheriff followed a gray Mercedes SUV traveling on Interstate 85 that quote-unquote drifted in the emergency lane several times. Cops claimed that the loud was so strong that they could smell it while behind the vehicle. When the cops pulled the car over and exited the vehicle, the whip dipped, leading the police on a high-speed chase that eventually ended with the car running into a police vehicle that blocked its path. Jim Jones stated he told the driver to stop the car, but stated she was acting incoherent, which is fancy words for saying she was ignoring his ass. Cops found 23 oxycodons, a loaded .25 caliber pistol, THCs, MP3s, Master P, Charlie's Angels, you name it, they had it. Jim Jones was eventually released on $7,000 bail. Number 8 on our list, T.I. Now this one will have you shaking your head all the way to your crib. On May 16, 2018, T.I. was returning to his Eagles Landing Country Club home around 4 a.m. when a security guard at the window was sleeping. Now, after he woke the guard and asked him to let him in because he did not have his key, the guard refused. The guard stated that T.I. began using profanity and yelled at him to open the gate. T.I. was finally let in after some words, but it did not stop there. T.I. went back to the security building to have words with the security guard, but was greeted by, who else? Georgia's finest, Atlanta police officers. T.I. was arrested on misdemeanor charges of simple assault, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. He was released from the Henry County Jail a few hours later after posting $2,250 bail. His thoughts on the whole ordeal: law enforcement in this county are white cops in a very white area. Number 7 on our list, Offset. The Migos superstar did a lot of winning in 2018. The birth of his daughter Culture with his wife, rap superstar Cardi B, Ric Flair dripping champagne, sipping, styling, and profiling. Woo! Offset was winning, but on July 20th, 2018, he wasn't so lucky. Offset was pulled over while driving a white 2014 Porsche Carrera in Clayton County, Georgia, for making what law enforcement claimed was an illegal lane change. Upon a search of the vehicle, officers claimed to discover a handgun and marijuana. Come to find out, that wasn't quite how law enforcement painted it. Surprise, surprise. He was soon released on $17,000 bail, quickly returning home to his wife and newborn. His lawyer team were very quick to the situation, claiming that the Migos superstar was being racially profiled. Offset quickly jumped on his Instagram to thank his lawyer team. I would like to thank this man, a lawyer and friend. He has taught me a lot about getting more involved in the community. He helps me financially outside of the courtroom. He is the best lawyer I know. I love him to death. Number 6 on our list, Young Thug. Thugger. He's a purse-flaring, blouse-wearing son of a gun. But the brother can spit, a multi-talented artist with an enormous following and insane upside. But his run-in with the law always seems to throw him 10 steps backwards. Back in August, he was hit on felony charges with a possession with a firearm and posted bail for $35,000 in Los Angeles after his birthday party. A month later, Young Thug turned himself in to DeKalb County authorities, and where else? Georgia, after a felony warrant was issued for his arrest. He was booked on 5 counts of violating the state's Controlled Substance Act. Thugger was wanted on 8 felony charges related to the charges of possession and the intent to distribute meth, hydrocodone, and weed. He was also charged with 2 counts of codeine possession and possession with the amphetamine, Xanax, and a firearm. Then just recently, he spent 6 days behind bars for a dirty piss test. Superior Court Judge Gregory Adams ruled that Young Thug could go home on the condition that he submit 2 bi-weekly drug tests, undergo substance abuse counseling, and frequently checks in with his probation officer. Now, all jokes aside, this brother does not need jail time. He needs the proper help, and we are all praying for Young Thug for real. Number 5 on our list, Rollo. The Georgia rapper was arrested on Sunday, April 15th and held without bond on felony conspiracy charges to distribute marijuana. Rollo was busted with approximately 440 pounds of marijuana, which is valued at over $840,000, while flying privately into DelCab Peachtree Airport in the ATL. Now, an affidavit reported that Rollo was deeply tied to a criminal gang in Atlanta known as Fam America, which of course law enforcement tried to put Rollo as the head henchman too. I love how they like to word things. Anyway, the ATF and FBI agents raided his little Pakistan apartment complex in Atlanta, which Rollo owned. He was very influential in helping the people who lived there. Rent, food, bills, etc. Now, it should be noted that he was also arrested in February for driving with a suspended license. Rollo contested the summons, claiming he was a victim of unfair racial profiling, and then jumped on his Instagram. "I'm a young, black, smart, rich Muslim. I'm the number 1 hated guy in this country." They scream "Free Rollo" to this day, with the FBI and ATF not budging a bit. A lot of controversy surrounds this situation. This one is interesting to pay attention to. Number 4, Kodak Black. The ZZ star was arrested at the top of the year, January 18, 2018. He faced 7 felony charges, including child neglect and drug possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Broward County Sheriff's Department obtained a warrant after seeing an Instagram live video of Kodak Black and his boys passing around blunts and a firearm around an infant. Because he was already on probation, they hauled Kodak Black right off the prison, leaving a shaking our heads. He spent 9 months behind bars, becoming a free man on August 19, 2018. Since Kodak Black has been out, he's been touring, dropping music, and being typical Kodak Black. You never know what you're gonna get out of this Florida native. Number 3, Meek Mill. Now, if you have a cell phone, watched TV, or even stepped outside, you at one time or another heard about Meek Mill and his ongoing situation as he sat in prison while the whole world watched in outrage. Now, let's timeline back, because although it was on November 6, 2017, where Judge Denise Brinkley sentenced Meek Mill to 2 to 4 years for violating his probation, it was in 2018 where the events left us shaking our head. Now, the reason why Meek Mill was put in jail in the first place, she cites, were failed drug tests, failure to comply with an order to restricting his travel, and 2 other unrelated arrests. One being in St. Louis for a fight in an airport where charges against him were later dropped, and the other for reckless driving in New York City where he took a dismissal. She said, and I quote, "You basically thumbed your nose at me." Now, the prosecutor and his probation officer recommended he not be in prison. Now, for those of you who don't know, Meek Mill has been on probation since 2007. For months, it seemed like a standoff between Meek Mill, his legal team, and Judge Brinkley, with many occurrences feeling as though Judge Brinkley had an undoubted bias towards Meek Mill for whatever reason. And there's been many reasons speculated, but we will never know. That being said, Meek Mill's imprisonment led to a worldwide discussion in prison reform, an unfair bias within our judicial system, turning Meek Mill almost into an icon for prison reform. Sports owners, billionaires, political figures alike flocked toward Meek Mill's case to show their support until he was finally released April 24th, 2018. Now, he's not all the way gone with Judge Brinkley yet. She still sits over his head as the judge for his case. Number 2, A.R. Ab. The Philadelphia rapper was caught up in a whole lot of heat going into the fall of 2018, and not just for his music. Just when it looked like A.R. was about to take his seat as one of hip-hop's shining stars, Feds had other plans, running down on A.R. on October 19th and apprehending him and 8 others, indicting them on federal charges of leading a drug trafficking organization. Those fancy words, again, pay attention. Now, the charges included allegations that ARAB and the other defendants operated in traffic networks between March 2017 and June 2018. The FBI ran 2 searches on the properties owned but not occupied by ARAB, finding guns, drugs, and cash in one and drugs and cash in the other. His indictment included charges of conspiracy to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine, 280 grams or more of crack, 50 grams or more of methamphetamine, and 100 grams or more of heroin. Additional individual charges include possession with the intent to distribute, meth distribution, and unlawful firearm possession. Now, days after his arrest, bloggers and everyone in between speculated on why he was targeted by the feds, with numerous media outlets being the center of blame. But many of ARAB's OBH members deaded that rumor immediately. ARAB's case is pending. Free ARAB. Number 1 on our list, who else? Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, 6ix9ine has been the talk and center of controversy since his climb to fame with his Gummo hit back in November 2017. With his off-the-wall antics and promotions of particular gang affiliations, 6ix9ine has made a name as one of the bigger hip-hop entertainers we've seen in quite some time. Whether or not you love him, you hate him, or you're just plain worried about him, a lot of people outside of his circle call for an immediate change in his life, fearing one or two things would happen if he continued down the path he was on. You know they're watching. But 6ix9ine didn't seem to listen, taking antics to the max each and every time, which led to his arrest by ATF, Homeland Security, and the NYPD in November of 2018. Now, 6ix9ine and 4 others were brought in on 17 indictments from racketeering, gun possession, the RICO, the list goes on and on. He currently sits in prison right now for neutral inmates while awaiting trial. Bail has not been set. He attempted a $1.7 million try to be released from prison, but was not able to do so. His trial is pending. Now, a lot of people seem to think that it was Tekashi 6ix9ine trolling antics and outlandish behavior that has him in this situation right now, not really being the person he is, but because he claimed to be something he wasn't, he finds himself in this situation. This story is ongoing. 2018, the year of the clout chaser. Like no other, rappers feel the need to show off what they have to make others envious or others pissed off. Back when I grew up, we were told never show and never tell. But in today's climate, in 2018, with the social media rise the way it is, rappers are pressured to make sure they let you know what they have and what others don't. Now, although a lot of these rappers did not fall victim of their cases due to social media, a lot of the rappers that currently sit behind bars, their situations can be attributed to one way or another, social media. A lot of people nowadays say that we show too much on social media in the hip-hop culture, our guns, our drugs, what we have behind the scenes, and we know that we give the hip-hop police a first-class seat into our living rooms day by day, making their jobs a whole lot easier. Now, one would ask, is this a coincidence or a part of a bigger scheme and an elaborate plan? One may never know. All I can say is, they're always watching.
It's only